All right. So, I have a question. Do you ever feel like you've been spinning your wheels, wondering why none of your big ideas have paid off yet? Well, I know the feeling. It's like you're cruising in first gear with the handbrake on. But here's the thing, your mind's got gears you haven't even shifted into. Gears 2 through 10 is where the real magic happens. Here's how I know. So, a few years back now, I was sat in my bedroom office. It was about 2 a.m. The silence, is so loud it's practically screaming. My room has become a museum of nice tries and what ifs, a graveyard of failed ideas. It's not even about racking up dollars or getting standing ovations. It's deeper. You know what I mean? It's about proving to myself that dude in the mirror that I can do this, that I can make this crazy lifestyle dream work. But, cue the dramatic music. Every idea I've tried starts with fireworks and ends in a fizzle. Classic. So my mind is questioning every decision I've ever made. I'm feeling more lost than a sock in the laundry, and I'm waiting for the "this way too awesome" sign, but I'm finding jack squat. Now I'm scared of becoming a could have been. That's what's right at the back of my mind. What I want is to create something which really delivers, so I can shout a win from the rooftops. But beyond all that, though, I want to do something meaningful, something that makes getting out of bed worth the effort. So the clock's ticking like a soundtrack to a personal horror show, reminding me that I'm stuck playing patty cake with my potential. They might as well put up a sign saying, "Here lies your potential. May it rest in pieces." What I'm really aching for is to cross that finish line, to look in the mirror without the cloud of what if over my head. So here's the deal. It's crunch time. Do I keep piling up the almost or do I flip the script? Time to stop being the king of the drawing board and start being the guy who actually does the thing. So that evening, as I paced the floor of our tiny living room, my family asleep and unaware of the storm that was inside of me, it hit me like a freight train. My world was a carousel of failed ventures and broken promises, spinning faster with each passing day. My wife and little one, they were my everything. And the thought of them bearing the brunt of my failures was a wake-up call louder than any alarm. Wishing for a miracle is fantasy, not reality. So there I was, staring down the barrel of 40-something, haunted by the echo of a future filled with what-ifs. So I wasn't going to let another decade slip through my fingers, anchored by regret. That wasn't me. I refused to accept that. So in desperation, I typed into Google, "how to deal with failure." And a Marcus Aurelius quote caught my eye. It said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." So failure isn't a cloak, it's a stepping stone. Suddenly, it kind of all clicked into place. Seriously, imagine this. What if every roadblock, every face plant into the hall of almost made it wasn't the universe telling me to give up, but nudging me to pivot, to change direction, to turn those obstacles into stepping stones? So that Marcus Aurelius dude, he was onto something. What stands in the way becomes the way. Boom. Mind blown. So here's a twist. What if the secret weapon, the magic formula, wasn't out there, but instead it was just locked inside my own head? So enter stage left, journaling. I found a vehicle, not the Dear Diary mood apocalyptic kind, but a strategic, battle-tested journaling program tailored for people like us, the dreamers, the ambitious. The average life isn't for us kind of people. So this wasn't your grandma's journaling. No. This approach to journaling was like the Navy SEALs of personal development. Goal setting, check, but with a twist that turns vague wishes into concrete, actionable objectives. Reviewing plans and strategies, absolutely, but with a method so incisive it makes a scalpel look blunt. And emotions. This approach is self-coaching, uncovering and understanding the roots of your fears and frustrations. So imagine taking what you're awesome at, say you're the Michael Phelps of not eating donuts, and using journaling to model that discipline into other areas of your life. That could make a real difference. I'm talking using this for planning, creativity, note-taking, problem-solving, and the big boss, reframing beliefs. Those habitual thoughts which limit you. This approach to journaling doesn't just skim the surface, it goes deep, applying the pressure where it's needed to turn coal into diamonds. But here's what sets it apart. It's built on the idea that we learn by doing. It's one thing to read about riding a bike. It's another to feel the wind in your hair as you pedal like mad. This journaling program, it's the wind. It's structured yet flexible, guiding you while giving you the freedom to explore, innovate, and grow. By putting pen to paper, you're not just recording thoughts, you're exploring your mind, challenging your limitations, and re-scripting your future. It's like having a personal coach, strategist, and cheerleader all rolled into one, tucked neatly between the covers of a journal. So, as I stared down the thought of yet another day feeling like Sisyphus rolling his boulder, I realized journaling was my lever and my fulcrum. It was time to stop the cycle of almost and step into the arena of achieved. Transformation didn't happen overnight, obviously, but it was better than that. Real, gritty, and as satisfying as that first cup of coffee in the morning. Because when you tap into the gears 2 to 10 of your own mind, armed with a pen and the right framework, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Not just dreams, but reality. Not just potential, but achievement. So, all right, lean in close, because I'm about to spill while this whole journaling gig is like discovering fire for the second time. You see, there's this thing called neuroplasticity. It's a fancy term that basically means our brains are like Play-Doh. With the right moves, you can mold it, shape it, turn it from a lump of meh into your greatest advocate, mentor, and coach. This journaling program, it's the sculptor's tools. It's structured to hit every pain point with surgical precision, thanks to a hefty dose of psychology and a sprinkle of good old-fashioned coaching methodology. So first up, we tackle the Godzilla in the room, the overwhelming sense of being lost in your own life. This isn't just about setting goals, it's about crafting a vision so vivid you can taste it. We dive deep, uncovering the why behind the what, turning foggy dreams into high-def reality. It's about getting so clear on your direction that you can stay focused no matter what unexpected curveballs get thrown at you. Then, there's a review process. I wonder why some people seem to spin their wheels stuck in a perpetual Groundhog Day of disappointment. It's because they're missing the feedback loop. So this program gives you the questions to ask, so you can learn from the past, course correct, and anticipate future obstacles before they happen. So emotions, now they're next on the list. Every human has them. Here's the deal. Unexamined emotions are like having a backseat driver with a megaphone. But emotions are signals. So this method gets you up close and personal with your feelings, understanding their roots, and transforming them from obstacles into engines for growth. Then, leverage your strengths. Now this is pure gold. It's like identifying your superpowers and then using them deliberately to unlock new levels in every area of your life. And if you think you don't have any, well, so did Clark Kent initially. Now the creativity sessions, think of them as setting your brain to innovation mode. It's about stretching your imagination, turning what if into why not, and solving problems like a real boss. Here's the clincher. Reframing beliefs. Our brains are story machines, but too often they're stuck on repeat, playing tales that hold us back. Imposter syndrome is just a story. Thinking people like you don't deserve X, whatever X might be, is just another story. So this program teaches you to rewrite the script, flipping the story from victim to victor. Now, why does it work? Because it's active, not passive. It's the difference between watching a workout video while eating chips and actually hitting the gym. So this program doesn't just give you the tools, it shows you how to use them, embedding new habits and mindsets that stick. A journaling program that's less about writing stuff down and more about engineering a version of you that's dialed in, fired up, and unstoppable. It's not magic, but it might as well be. Because when you harness the power of your own story, the possibilities are endless. Now, where can you apply this? Let's light up the scoreboard. Let's see tangible results. I've used this to break through on financial success, to understand my emotional connections to money, the good and the bad, to change my money relationship from lack to flow. Imagine looking at your bank account and seeing numbers that don't make you wince, but actually puff your chest out a bit. Whether it's launching that business idea that's been simmering on your back burner or finally getting that raise or promotion. Your financial graph is a reflection of your beliefs around money. So how about weight loss? If that's your arena, you're now playing to win. It's not just about shedding pounds, it's about transforming your decisions, making choices that align with your health goals. So your journal becomes your coach, cheering you on, keeping you accountable, and celebrating every victory, big or small. But hey, the magic doesn't stop with what you can measure. Intangible benefits, that's where the soul of journaling lives. Self-confidence that was once as elusive as a mirage in the desert, now can be as solid under your feet as the ground that you walk on. Happiness, a sense of fulfillment. Journaling gives you the space to reflect, the peace of knowing you're on the right path, the confidence to know you can change any situation or circumstance when you tap into more of your mind. Let's not forget about clarity, the fog that used to cloud my mornings, the indecision and overthinking that made progress so daunting and sporadic. Within these pages, you define who you are, what you want, and how to get there. Your decisions are no longer shots in the dark, but strategic moves on the chessboard of your life. Let's talk about relationships, the amplifiers of life's experiences. The biggest commonality in every relationship you have is you, because you're always there. Not everything can be someone else's fault. So journaling has given me a better appreciation of what triggers me and why. Every ancient philosopher arrives at this same conclusion: know thyself. So with a deeper understanding of yourself, you navigate interactions with empathy, patience, and a depth that enriches your relationships, your connections. Your journal doesn't judge, it just reflects. So in essence, what this program offers isn't just a transformation, it's a revolution, a personal revolution. You're not the person you were when you first opened that journal. You're stronger, wiser, and armed with a roadmap to your dreams. So, are you now ready to write the next chapter? Now, before we go any further, who am I to be throwing out promises like at a Mardi Gras parade? Why should you take anything I say seriously? Well, let's get one thing straight. I wasn't handed life on a silver platter. No trust fund was waiting to cushion my fall, and I certainly didn't hatch out some Silicon Valley golden egg. I'm just a regular dude from a working class family, where the idea of sharing ideas as a speaker was about as alien as deciding to be an astronaut. My dad, he ground away at a job he couldn't stand day in and day out, all to keep the lights on and the table full. That was his sacrifice, his reality. And while I respect the hell out of it, I knew in my core that wasn't the path for me. I had this crazy idea that life could be more than just clocking in and clocking out. I dreamed of days filled with epic moments, a career that sparked joy, and the kind of freedom that people from my background couldn't even conceive. Has it been a walk in the park? No. At times it was like hacking through a jungle with a butter knife. Frustration became my middle name as I chased after a life that seemed constantly out of reach. But it was that same frustration, that need to break free from the ordinary, that drove me to dig deep to find the answers that nobody was handing out. So why listen to me? Because I've walked the path. I've lived the struggle. I've felt the sting of setback. And I've still managed to carve out a slice of the dream. So the journaling habit was and still is my go-to coach, mentor, and cheerleader. And if you're anything like me, you've been on a wild ride, bouncing from one sure thing to another, collecting self-help books like they're going out of style, maybe even flirting with those high-ticket courses that promise the moon, but leave you stranded in the stratosphere of your own confusion and disappointment. My promise, here's where the game changes, which is why I created the Journaling Habit Program. Your not-so-secret weapon in the battle against the mundane, the mediocre, and the outright missed opportunities. This isn't another pie-in-the-sky promise or a vague, feel-good pep talk. This is your roadmap to transformation, designed for the real world with real challenges just like yours. Now, you might be thinking, that all sounds great, but what's this going to cost me? Another couple of $1,000 down the drain, maybe? No, not even close. It didn't take me long to distill the 8 core ways that I use a journal, which is why I've priced this at just $27. Less than the price of that forgettable dinner that you had last week, or that stack of motivational books gathering dust on your shelf. So for less than the cost of a monthly subscription to a streaming service you use to binge watch shows, and that's okay now and then, you could be stepping into a life of clarity, purpose, and achievement. So the Journaling Habit Program isn't just about personal growth. It's about tangible results and feeling more in flow more of the time. Financial breakthroughs, healthier lifestyles, skyrocketing self-confidence, and relationships that thrive on deeper connections. How? Because the answers are locked inside of you. Gears 2 to 10 are all there, waiting. This is the key to de-restricting them, allowing yourself to use them. Let's be real. In the grand scheme of things, $27 is a drop in the bucket. But the potential return? Immeasurable. We're talking about the difference between continuing to wonder what if, and instead stepping boldly into what's next. So here's the offer. Take the leap, invest in yourself. Not with hundreds of dollars on a gamble, but with $27 on a sure thing. Your future self will thank you. And if you don't like it, 100% guarantee, love it or your money back. Remember, this isn't just an investment in a program, it's an investment in the person you're about to become. And all it takes to start writing your success story is clicking that button and diving in. The choice is ultimately yours. The question really is, are you ready to turn the page? As Helen Keller said, life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. So click the button below.